You grew up being besotted by Ashes Test Series. So many kids, boys and girls, are now being besotted because of your performance. Could you have scripted that finish any better?
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. You know, just coming on after the rain break, I thought Chris Woakes and Moeen set the tone unbelievably. You know, Woakesy picking up a couple of wickets, just particularly Smith, who's just been such a wonderful player to play against for all these years. And once we got a couple, we really began to believe. And I thought the Oval crowd was just wonderful. It was just so loud to be out there, and we really sort of jumped on the back of the energy of the crowd. But to pick up a couple of wickets to finish the Test match and contribute to the team in this innings is something very special. You know, I suppose when you make that decision to move on from the game, you sort of wonder what your last ball will be. So for to be a wicket to win an Ashes Test match is pretty cool.
You only made that decision a couple of nights ago. Your last delivery in terms of facing as a batter went for 6. Your last delivery in your Test match career, you got a wicket. I mean, the cricketing gods just must have been smiling down on you.
Yeah, it's the only ball I've middled all year, to be honest. I'm quite happy that went for 6. But yeah, I even had a little bail change. Did you see that before I got...
I was going to get to that. Settle on. I know you're going to go to the media, but let me ask the questions, all right?
But yeah, I mean, it was, for me, I've always enjoyed bowling at left-handers, so to finish my last spell bowling at a few left-handers and moving the ball away from them, trying to bring the slips into play, and actually, you know, I thought the pitch quickened up a little bit after the rain break, and it just slipped through for us seamers a little bit more. And special mention to Moeen Ali as well. You know, he's not, I suppose he's not officially announced he's moving on, but we walked off together, and he's been such a special friend and someone to play with. And for him to put in that sort of performance to help England win an Ashes Test match will be a dream come true for him.
I heard you talking about you got hit for 6 sixes against Yuvraj Singh. You got into warrior mode in terms of preparation. Your preparation has been outstanding. You've been ringing people about how to get Marnus Labuschagne out in the Ashes series. You've prepared so well for this, almost bowled too well as well. Does that define your career, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like detail, I like data, I like to research things and then I almost need facts and data for me to believe something, and then I can go and work on something. And that was something that was very evident when I decided to come round the wicket in 2015 and really work on bowling to left-handers around the wicket, because my data to left-handers wasn't very good, so I had to make a change. And also, you know, I did a lot of research into Davey Warner because I found him so difficult to bowl at, and found a bit of a way to be able to dismiss him. And, you know, coming into this series, just working on holding the ball away to the right-hander a little bit to bring the outside edge in a bit more, but also hammering down my strengths as a bowler, and that is bowling to left-handers around the wicket, trying to move the ball away with the occasional one nipping back. And, you know, I think when you get to the top level of Test match cricket, it's about knowing what your weaknesses are, but ultimately finding your exact strengths and sticking to them so strongly and not getting knocked away. You know, Test match cricket, the whole environment, if it's a straight road, you've got a lot of things trying to knock you off it all the time, you know, whether that's media, whether that's sort of tweaks in technique, but if you can stay on that sort of straight road as much as you possibly can, you know, success comes your way. So, yeah, I think I've probably learned that more in the last 10 years, and being able to just focus solely on what my super strengths are, and, you know, I think I stuck to them in this Ashes series.
I think of all the bowlers I'm thinking about across Test cricket at the moment, you might have been the one that asked for a ball change the most over the last couple of years, and now you've just realised you didn't need the ball change, you just need the bail change.
Oh yeah, if I'd known that 10 years ago, I'd have been alright, wouldn't I? But yeah, it was, I must admit, I don't know, maybe I did just make that up. I thought it was an Aussie good luck thing to change the bails, I'm not sure, but the Marnus one really made me smile in the first innings, and I had a couple of play misses today that was just beginning to get a little bit frustrating, so I thought, oh, you know, I'll just change them, not at the batter's end, but I'll just change them at the bowler's end and see what happens. And Todd nicked what was a decent ball, next ball, so that really made me smile.
It's been an enthralling series. Everyone has said it, one for the absolute ages. It's 2-2. Take Old Trafford out of it, but if there was a moment, a session that you think you could change just to tweak that result, would there be one that stands out in your mind?
I don't really have many regrets with cricket too much, but I probably wouldn't have taken the second new ball at Edgbaston. I think throughout in the last innings, I think throughout the series, actually, the new ball has been the hardest time to bowl. It seems like it's come onto the bat a lot more, and it starts to swing after 10 overs. And we were bowling bouncers with the old ball, it was very soft. I think Nathan, Lyon and Pat were struggling to hit it a little bit. We created a couple of chances, and once we took the new ball, it just skidded on, and we found it hard to create any more chances, and actually made it easier to hit to the boundary. So if I could turn back the clock there for that last hour, although we'd been in the field for like a day and a half, so it was hard to think really clearly, but I'd probably have just stayed with the old ball and continued bowling sort of heavy and short and see if they'd have made a mistake. But ultimately, I walked off that field having lost that game at Edgbaston, but so proud, and, you know, blood in the socks, sweat, sort of like tears almost, and just I knew that the team had put their heart and soul into it. And genuinely, you know, when you lose to a great team like Australia, but you know you've done everything you can, you got to hold your head up high.
Speaking of sweat, a number of people today came in with the Stuart Broad headbands on, and it would have come in handy too, because I think they were stressing themselves a little bit. It's a lovely tribute.
Yeah, it was really cool. You know, actually, all over, when I looked around, I could spot little groups with headbands, and I signed a few as I got off the team bus this morning. It's a really, really nice gesture, you know. It ended up being a little bit of a superstition just wearing that. You know, I wore it in COVID because we weren't allowed to take sweat or let sweat sort of drip off our head, and then I took it off and didn't take any wickets, so I thought, right, I'm going to wear it again, and it stuck with me all the way through to the end. So, yeah, it was great to see a few fans wearing them. It really did make me smile.
It's been a few celebrations tonight. Keep the whites on and the cap, maybe the headband. Thanks so much for your time and also wonderful career.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.